Good afternoon, Soul Family. It's 1:15 and I haven't even done the morning reading. Song right now. Hello, hello. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I hope that you're missing me, 'cause it makes me feel young. My favorite color is you. You keep me young, and that's how I want to be. This song is about, he says, growing up it made me numb. Big kids were all getting drunk, meaning the parents. You're vibrating out of my frequency because of this person's addictions, I guess. And don't want to be a heavy today, but there was a lot that came up. And it's just talking to me about how important it is that we really protect our kids, you know, and we have open dialogue with our children, and we are aware of who is around them. There's so much. I watched in my dreams last night, and my landlord just came up and talked to me about it, and about, you know, neighbors who've molested kids, and he was 17, didn't know what the hell was going on. And I know that there's a guy here in Canyon Lake that all the motocross kids hung around because he was really, really wealthy, and he had a lot of toys, and, you know, he would pump them with alcohol and drugs, and then he'd get them over there and he'd molest them, and, you know, they were too embarrassed to let anybody know, and he went on for years. And there's a lot of kids that are fucked up because of it, you know, and uncles that did that to their nephews, and people have such anxiety issues about sex and about their own sexuality, not knowing, am I gay because it felt good, you know. I didn't want that to happen, but I had a client yesterday that talked to me about it, and he said, you know, and he was saying all these things to me, and I asked him, I said, were you molested when you were younger? And he said, yeah, because what he said to me was, this girl that he's talking about has awakened such amazing, beautiful feelings inside of him. He goes, at least I know I'm not gay. And I said, what? Were you molested? And he said, I was. And he goes, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what I was. And I thought, I don't understand that. How can you not know? But that happened to me too when I was a little girl. Somebody tried to molest me. The only thing is, no one was going to get near me. I freaking lost my shit. I screamed and yelled at him and made a huge scene, and no one believed me. They didn't believe me, but no one was going to let it happen to me. But it happened to my mother, it happened to my daughter, it happened to my grandmother, it happened to my landlord, it's happened to so many people, you know, and it's caused people such anxiety. And so it's compassion, and to know what your kids are doing, you know who they're around, and have open dialogue, and explain to them, you know, about sex, and that if they're curious about something, you know, that they're not wrong to be curious, but, you know, explain things to them. It's important. I watched in my dreams, I've got people that are talking to me, pretending to be other people. I know who they are, but they're afraid to come to me and talk to me because of things that have happened, and they're embarrassed, or they're ashamed, or they're too proud to say they're sorry, but they can't kind of let go, so they keep wanting to contact me. And it's like, I know it's you. What's wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? But then I watched in my dream last night, I watched what was wrong. I watched how they were just freaking messed up, and love was so screwed up for them. And, you know, parents who talk to their kids about their own private sex life, and lean on them and cry, and tell them their own, you know, they treat their children like they're their best friend. And I lived with that. I had that happen, and I said it's wrong, that, you know, they don't need any more friends. They need a parent, you know. But kids that never had parents, because the parents treated the children like they were their own personal little, you know, psychotherapy session, and it messes their minds up. It makes them not trust. It makes them confused, and so what ends up happening is they put on a mask. They hide who they are, and they're not comfortable coming forward. You know, they're so used to hiding the truth of their feelings, or maybe they're hiding because they don't trust, you know, you. How do I know that you're real? You know, I don't want that. I don't want to have that happen in my life. There's just so many things. I just want to go away. I just want to disappear. And I understand that. So do they, you know. They want to be somebody else. They want to, you know, I put a different picture up from my banner picture. That You know, and I was looking at it, and I always have like a song or some kind of a intro, like a comment to put with the picture, right? And I just sat there looking at that, and normally you would think, oh, she's calling her ship, and her ship's come in, right? And I'm sitting there going, I don't want to leave. Why would I leave here? That's incredible. I don't know who's coming to visit, but don't bother picking me up, because I don't want to leave that forest. I want to live there. I want to be away from all of you. And I get that, why people want to run for the hills. You know, there's craziness going on. I'm trying to get a ticket back to Wisconsin, and it's just not happening. You know, it's just everything. I've got one roadblock after another. I so want to see my friends and family back there, but it's really expensive and nothing's lining up. And I'm thinking, you know what, maybe I'm not supposed to go there, or maybe I'm not supposed to go during the festival. I don't know. It's just, you know, I live in this place, and it's actually quite beautiful. Look at it. It's beautiful. I walked out there and you saw that. Isn't that gorgeous? Who wouldn't want to live here? I'm very grateful. I love my studio. It's beautiful. My landlord's awesome. This is incredible. But I don't have any friends here, family here. It's like, you know, give me a break. Why can't it be simple? Why can't anything ever be simple? So today, and I don't know why all that came up. Maybe it's, I just wish people would be real. I understand that you've been through stuff. I understand if there's embarrassment and you don't quite know what to say. But I got to tell you, for me, I'm a real easy person to come to if you want to make up for something, you know, if you want to just be real. I'm not the kind of person that beats you over the head with the past, you know. It just frustrates me to no end when I know who you are and you're talking to me as somebody else. It's just, don't do it. I'm going to keep blocking you. I'm going to keep doing it, because until you decide to speak to me as another human being, adult, I don't have anything to say to you, you know, and whatever your reasons are, you know, you're comfortable. I watched it last night, this wolf wearing a woman's house coat, telling me that they were a woman. I said, you're not. I can see who you are. Do you not know what I do for a living? I mean, you know, come on. I understand that you're comfortable hiding that way. You know, it makes you feel safe, but you're never going to allow a friend into your life or love if you can't open up and trust somebody. And I understand, you know, a lot of people, they're afraid to trust because of what's happened. But, you know, ask Spirit for guidance then. Can I trust this person? Can I? Show me. Because if I can, I'm going to open up to you. But I'm not going to be talking to people who pretend to be other people. It's stupid. Sorry. I'm not playing games. All right, so Oracle of Shadows and Light. We're going to work with, we're going to do 3 cards. 3 piles. And I thought of something yesterday for our, so be thinking, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. What do you want to say to them? Or what would you like them to know? And what would they like you to know? And what does Spirit have for both of you? Or what's coming? Because it's all guidance, right? It's all guidance. And them can be anyone. Them can be a partner. Them can be, you know, a business partner, family member, whatever it is, a friend. Doesn't matter. It's your choice. You choose. I thought of something yesterday, and I can't for the life of me think of it now. Doesn't that suck? About what I was going to use for cards. What was it? Like, I have all these brilliant epiphanies when I'm you know, in my dream space. I'm floating along, you know, and I felt very comfortable with this person who was pretending to be somebody else. You know, that's what's sad. I really like them. They just need to be themselves with me. I won't move forward until they are. I wish I could think of the deck that I'm using. That I wanted to use. I'm going to tell you guys, and I'll put it in the comments that you can timestamp. I'll timestamp this so you don't have to listen to this if you don't want. You know, whatever floats your boat. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I think I'm just doing these right now because I've got to do today's reading, and I don't know where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do. I mean, why wouldn't I just be here? It's beautiful. I might just sit up on the patio. Isn't that sad though, that song? That's probably why I brought it up, because that's what's happening. My favorite color is you, and you're vibrating out of my frequency. And that's sad, because there's really no reason for us to vibrate out of each other's frequency, because, you know, in all reality, we're on each other's frequency. We wouldn't be connecting the way we are if we weren't vibrating on the same frequency. But it's about communication. It needs to be done appropriately. Ooh, I like these. Okay, so today we're going to use these 3 cards. So right now, 10 minutes in, I will tell myself that, 10 minutes in, okay? Pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. A, B, C. This is Desert Rose, which is Selenite. This is self-charging, and it cleanses other crystals. If you see this in the light, it just sparkles. It's very, very delicate. This is Muscovite mica that I found when I was up in Idlewild last week. Remember, I bent down, and isn't it cool? Because it's like a spearhead. I like that. And this is a little piece of crystal clear quartz. I just like them together. So the Muscovite mica for this particular pile is amplified, because clear quartz is an amplifier. So Desert Rose is for this person. Muscovite mica amplified for this person. And this is from the ocean. This is Spirit says we need to connect to the ocean. Okay, here we go. Begin. 11 minutes and 29 seconds. First pile. Your first message is, okay, Storm Angel, collision of beliefs, styles, attitudes, and energies. So this is what's going on around you right now. This in your life. And you know what? This is actually very perfect, of course. Everything, Spirit knows how to do things. How they've chosen Muscovite mica, or how they had me choose Muscovite mica. Look at the here, I'm going to put this on a little. There we go. The energy that's cracking around, it kind of resembles the Muscovite pieces, right? And with all of that crash, boom, raw that's going around the outside of you, you're probably feeling delicate, right? So it's you know, there's a lot of misunderstandings, and there's a lot of differences of opinion that are going on around you. But you see yourself standing there in the eye of the storm. You're not allowing it to affect you. You're holding your center. Why? Because a true master is able to find peace even amongst the chaos. You're not harmed. And you have to deal with the energy that's around you. And what's going on and what they're showing you here is your highest self. In the purple, that's the highest spiritual color. So this is you in your highest self. See the gray hair? It's kind of like a bluish gray, but the gray is the sign of wisdom, right? So here you are in your highest power. And you need to deal with that energy. And you're not going to compromise your energy. With all the shit that was coming in with me this morning and in my dreams, I thought, wow, you know, all I felt like was such compassion for the person that was pretending to be someone else to me, even though I knew that that's what they were doing and who they were. My heart was very, very open. I wasn't judgmental. I literally, the person said to me, well, I am a boy and you are a girl, so we can be together. And you know, after I told them I knew who they were, and I wasn't angry. I understood what was going on and why they had done the things they had done. And that's what's going on. Like, you know, you've got an opinion of something and other people have, everyone's looking at things in a different way, right? And maybe to you, that was appropriate. You know, to me it wasn't appropriate. But I could come from a place of compassion and understand that there's so many people that deal with depression. There's so many people that deal with the fallout of what happens in their life. And this is how you handle it. This is how this person was protecting themselves, behind a mask, right? So this is the differences, though. This is like when oil and water meet. They don't mix. They're shaking things up. And there's nothing wrong with the fact that everyone's looking at things differently and they handle things differently. But when this happens, this is Spirit changing things. It's shifting things up. And it's kind of like, you know, yesterday I was watching with my family and friends in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. It was a beautiful sunny day, but then a storm came in. And I love the storms out there. You know, they have sheet lightning and forked lightning that hits the ground right in front of you. And that's what happens when two different styles come together. It's like thunder gods are striking, right? And what happens is they come together, they clash, they burst, and then the clouds burst open and the rain washes down. And so that's emotion. It comes in order to shake things up. And the emotion falls, and that could be rain, it could be emotional feelings, it could be expression, whatever it is. It's meant to happen in order to clear things, because everything has been pent up. It's been building and building and building, and it has to explode. So it might make you feel very uncomfortable, because now you're not able to hide behind what you were hiding behind. Or, there's tension. It could be that you have a belief system that is this, and someone else has something that's completely different, and you collide. But you're going to stand in your integrity. You're not going to compromise your position, because this is who you are. And you know what? Even though I felt compassion, I'm not going to play the game. Yes, I have compassion for what you've been through. I'm sorry that that's happened to you. But you know what? I've been through a lot too. And I don't lie to you. I don't present myself as someone different. I might have been even more. I humiliated myself even further because I have been so open. So here I am on, you see two spectrums of the scale, right? One that was like way open and one that was way closed. And yet I was honest. So I'm not going to compromise my integrity. My integrity is, I want the truth. I want honesty. And for you need to speak whatever it is on your heart that's truthful, and and stay committed to whatever you believe. Now, it could be differences of religious belief. It could be politics. I don't discuss politics with anyone. I freaking don't get involved in politics. All I can say is I freaking hate Trump. I'm sorry. And we don't really hate anyone, but somebody please get that man out of office. He's destroying our animals. He's doing way too many things. And see, even bringing that up, there's going to be debate. I don't want to talk to you guys about it. I'm not going there. So people start talking politics. I'm like, please don't talk to me about it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And that's just the way it is. That's my truth. So, and it could be religion. People don't want to talk about religion, I don't push this on anyone. This is a channel that you can go listen to if you choose. If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm doing this for spirit. This is my job. It's what I'm supposed to do. If you like it, works for you, that's wonderful. If you don't, carry on. So right now, however, a lot of people aren't that way. A lot of people don't feel that way. They want to push their agenda on you. They want to force something down your throat. They want to shove it down your throat. When I was a Jehovah's Witness, I would go from door to door, knocking on people's doors, and I would, to preach what I was supposed to share. It's what I was raised to believe. But when somebody came to the door and said to me, I was usually talking to their pet or looking at their garden. I was always interested in the animals and in the gardens, and I was easily able to start conversations with people ever since I was little. And then I would say, I'm here to offer you the Watchtower and Awake magazine, and if they would say to me, oh, thank you, but I'm not interested, I would say, you're welcome. I said, have a nice day. And then we would usually talk about the garden, the flowers, or I've got a perennial garden, and a lot of the times the people would say, you know what? You can come back and when I'm weeding out this, and you can have a little piece of this. And I made friends with people. I was doing what I was supposed to do, but I wasn't going to shove it down their throat. They didn't want it. They weren't interested in it. You shouldn't shove anything down someone's throat. If they're not ready for it, they're not ready for it. It's the same thing. And if they never will accept it, they never will. But I went to the door with other people. And when the person said no, we're trained to overcome objections because, well, they may not understand, and you got to push a little further, and it's like, ugh. But I would be with people that would literally stick their foot in the door. And my ex-mother-in-law, she was Italian. She could barely understand her, and she was embarrassing. And she would say, what is wrong with you? Don't you believe in the God? And I would be like mortified. I'm like, look, I was halfway down the driveway, right? I'm out of here. They said they weren't interested. If they were interested, they would take the magazines. But they're not. So it's the same thing even with our spiritual beliefs, like this. I won't force this on anybody. If you are not awakened or enlightened or wanting this, you're not going to hear what I have to say. You're not ready. You'll hear it. It's like when the student is ready, the master appears, right? So, or the teacher appears. So basically, right now, these energies that are going to be released, there's all kinds of stuff that's going to come to light. The way Spirit does this. You're going to uncover truths about people, about situations. It's kind of like with the energies that are working, like my dreams. I'm watching things be uncovered in front of me, and I'm seeing what it is. I see the truth of it. And this is another message. Sometimes we know something and we can't prove it logically. Like I can't say to you, no, they didn't come to me and say this. This is what I saw in a dream. But I know it. So don't try and talk me out of it. Don't try and tell me that it isn't the truth. I already know. Okay? So Any lies, any deception, any manipulation, any agendas, any cheating, it's going to be uncovered at this time. So when this happens, you need to speak truthfully. You need to stand in your integrity because things are going to become very clear. That's what's happening right now for me. It's clear. If you want to talk to me, come to me as you. I already know. And anything that was hidden is going to be exposed. Just be honorable. Bondage. Okay, this is interesting. The bondage that you are in is you've done this yourself, which is interesting. How did you get yourself in such a knot? Right? But you've bound yourself up with your own negative thinking. So stop. Challenge. Now, yes, you say, oh, easier said than done. Because of all the things that I was talking to you about, right? Why do I do this? Why did I behave this way? Because of this. Well, that's understandable. But you need to challenge yourself to replace the negative expectations with a positive outlook. Yes, that happened. But that doesn't mean that because that has always happened or that happened in the past that it's going to happen now. You need to hold a positive outlook and then prepare for rapid change in your life. Because if you shift your energy, the reason you're going to have rapid change in your life is because things are actually going in a positive direction. They're actually much better than you believe. They're actually really good and in your highest good. But the way you're behaving about things right now and the way you're looking at it, you're expecting it to go negatively and you're drawing that energy towards you. So, yes, it's a challenge, but you can do it. If you've tied yourself up in these knots, you can also undo these knots, right? They do show the divine masculine, which is forward movement. This is growth. The sun makes everything grow. The sun will come out tomorrow. The sun is actually already there for you. You're refusing to see it. See how she's got her head down on her shoulder? Like, I'm not going to look over there. Love is here for you. It's all blue skies and sunshine. You don't realize, you don't believe it. You don't want to believe it. So yes, challenge yourself and ask Spirit. Okay, so this is what I was going to do. The Angel Answers cards was the other. Hold on a second. We're still on this first pile because this is what I was going to do. So the first pile, second pile, and third pile, you're also going to have an Angel Answers, and it's going to be whatever you want it to be. For the Angel Answers, this is why I guess I did it separately. It's going to be whatever your question is. This is your answer. Is it a yes or no? Is it a when's this happening? Is it a whatever your question is? This is the message. So for you, in this particular situation, there's a collision of ideas and belief systems, and you're having to stand your ground, and it's challenging. And because of that, you've got yourself in a knot. You're nervous, right? Things went really bad before. When I've tried to be honest and bring this out in the open, it didn't go well. And I'm afraid. Okay, well, Spirit now has a message for you. And your message is, listen to your intuition. What does your intuition tell you about this situation? Not your monkey mind. Not your monkey mind. What does your intuition say? What is your higher knowledge saying to you? You can call on your higher self. You can go into meditation. You can go outside in a beautiful setting, right? Call on nature and see how that's what she's doing. She's calling on her spirit guides. She's calling on her animal messengers. She's playing music. Music is very calming. Maybe you need to listen to music. Ask yourself a question. Ask Spirit, which is you, right? You are Spirit as well. Whatever it is that this is in regards to for yourself, they're telling you that your answer will come by listening to your intuition. Your higher self. So basically, it's not other people, because you've had a clash, right? Of other people have different ideas than what you are feeling. So what they're telling you is what you're picking up, it's reliable. You're right in what you're feeling. And when you listen to what your own higher self is telling you, you're not going to go on the wrong path. See, sometimes we do things and like what I did when Spirit asked me to give that reading to that person, and then they flipped it around me and attacked me, and I thought, wow, I just did what I was supposed to do. But I wasn't wrong in doing it. I listened to Spirit, and there was a reason it happened. It'll play out in the end. It was to show me how easily people can be manipulated by people that are really good actors, right? And it shows me how damaged people are, and that everyone needs compassion and understanding. And it showed me how to handle a situation where I was being attacked, and instead of retaliate and be angry, to look at it and see these people are hurting, right? So even though you may feel like, wow, I did listen to my intuition, it went sideways, there's a reason everything happens. So if you aren't understanding what your higher self is telling you, that's like with me, with what was going on. Why did that have to happen? Well, I realized later what they were showing me. To me, it was specifically to show me, because I've had several of the same things, a narcissist and an empath. Basically, that's the message. What I watched this morning in my dreams was narcissistic parents that groomed their children. It was a narcissistic mother with a codependent father, and the children were basically tortured. The kids were messed up because of watching that. It wasn't that the child is narcissist, but see, they grew up thinking, is there something wrong with me? No. You had a narcissistic parent and a codependent parent, and you were the product of their environment, and it's a challenge to get yourself out of that. So recognize that you are your own sovereign being, right? Remember, we're brought into families for our lessons. Our families are our greatest teachers. So right now, what you're picking up, your insights into other people and their true feelings are perfectly accurate, just like what I was getting. And there's no need to question. What you know is true. You already know. So that's the first pile. It ends at 26 minutes. So 26 minutes in for the first pile, okay? Thank you, Desert Rose. And you do need to look up the Desert Rose. It's your message. And here we have the Muscovite mica. You need to look up Muscovite mica. It's important for you. And here we're working with, and we're not going to have everybody working with the same decks. We're going to be having a message from different decks depending on who you get. So you're getting the Shapeshifters. Once Upon a Midnight Dreary. This makes me think of the music festival that I was trying to get to. That at this point I don't know that I'm going now. But here you see somebody with writer's block, somebody who is trying to figure out what to say. They don't know what to say. You can see this person. They've got a blank sheet of paper in front of them. They've got a raven saying there is magic and miracles. You have inspiration around you. You're not seeing it though. And there's one in the window, two in the window. So there's 3 ravens. Magic and miracles. Pay attention to your intuition. What is your intuition telling you? This one has got a key around their neck. It holds, this key is to what? What does this key open for you? You're holding this key, and it goes to something important. You've got a lapis. You've got a lapis bracelet. So I know who you are. You've got blue eyes and dark hair, and you're sad. And you've got maybe depression that you're dealing with, and you're not quite certain how to express your feelings. But Spirit's telling you that we're here to help you. We have magic and miracles all around you. You have the gifts within you. Trust what your intuition is saying. Pay attention to the dreams that you're getting. The ravens are omens about creativity. So they are speaking to you in your dream time, just like I was being spoken to in my dream time. They bring you messages from your childhood, from past lives, from different people. My messages, I watch other people's lives. I watch, and you know what was confusing about my dreams was, for the longest time, I didn't realize, if you're not able to, if you can't corroborate with somebody what's going on, if you're not in their physical presence to discuss it with them, you're not quite certain what part of their life you're watching. Because a lot of the things that I was watching ended up being childhood, and this person is an adult. But you're getting messages, and even though things are confusing, things all kind of come together at the appropriate time. Spirit does that. So for you, creative expression is very important right now. The artistic flow. The reason I said it made me think of Steelbridge is because it's a song festival where my writer friends are going to be performing in June, and they all write their own original music, right? They're amazing because they spin the bottle, and 3 people generally, sometimes maybe more, get together, and they have every different type of musical talented person. They've got somebody that plays guitar, somebody that just sings, somebody that plays the drums, and all the different types. They've got different styles of people: country, folk, rock, metal, and what they do is they spin the bottle, and everybody mixes together, and then they have to come together to write a song. And you can imagine how creative that is. Isn't that brilliant? Pat McDonald, smart man, all the different ways of looking at things to come together to create something, and they create a song, and they don't have much time to do it. They do it overnight. And sometimes they create a few of them, and they're amazingly talented. So what you're doing here as far as genius and writing and expression and artistic flow, is you're taking from all these different places, right? From your dreams, from your intuition, from your life experiences, from what's going on in your daily life, and you're putting that all together and you're creating something. You're unlocking the key to your creativity. It's amazing. So there's that in this as well. If you look outside, you're stumped right now. You're sitting there. So go outside. I'm looking. She's sitting on grass. Do you see that? She's sitting on grass. There's actually a lot of healing as well where this person is. See that grass? So connect to outside. Watch the animals. Maybe you could get something by watching the animal messengers that come. If you're thinking about what to say for you right now, if you're trying to write something, or if you're trying to come up with a project, or you're trying to literally, maybe this is a message that you're trying to send to somebody, or you're trying to connect with someone. What are the animal messengers telling you? You are also a raven. Look at your wings. This also represents coming out of the darkness, right, into the light, the moonlight. But maybe you're more comfortable at nighttime. You express yourself more in your dreams. I know that I connect in my dreams very lucidly. So pay attention to what the different animal messengers have to say to you right now. What does the raven have to say to you right now? Or I'm calling it a raven. When you looked at this bird, what was it for you? Did you see a blackbird? Did you see a crow? Did you see a raven? Did you see, because the birds are actually, the wings are blue. What animal messenger do you see? And actually, you know what? You can just look at this and see if you see any other type of animal messenger. They're speaking loudly right now. And then look it up. Raven Totem, T-O-T-E-M. T-O-T-E-M, yeah. And see what the message is, and maybe that will help you. Right now, Spirit's talking about, using your senses, using your talents, advancing yourself, challenging yourself, polishing up your skills. And what's going on right now is you're going to have a test. And it's going to be a test of your skills. And you're going to be tested for how suitable you are for something. I don't know what it is for each person. It could be, I'm not even going to say, but you are going to be tested on this. And it's interesting, when I tell you this, you may not understand what I'm talking about, but you will understand what it happens. Because when I first heard this message, I thought, what does that mean? And then I was shown, wow, I was tested. It was amazing. So right now they're asking you to refresh your skills that you have. What is it that you work with? Have you, dust them off, practice. Update things, because things have changed. Maybe it's the way you have been handling a situation, the way that I've always done this. This is the way I always communicated, or this is the way, it's worked for me in the past, but it's not working any longer. Even with the same person. Well, they used to play that game with me. I did too. I used to play that game with this person, and I won't anymore because I've grown up. And I know that we are so incredibly connected, we don't need to play games. And there is no reason for mistrust or fear. I trust in it. So the color blue represents speaking the truth. It also represents Archangel Michael's color of protection. You are protected as you speak your truth. So learn the skills that you need in order to move forward and achieve what it is that you are desiring to achieve. Also, whatever this course is that you're going to take, maybe it's a course in a project. Maybe it's something to do with spiritual. Maybe it's holistic, maybe it's artistic. I don't know what it is for you that you're going to be doing. It could have to do with the environment. It could have to do with, you could be a car salesman. You could be, a farmer. You could be, who knows what it is. But whatever it is, we always have to stay up to date. We always have to refresh things, right? We always have to look at things from a different perspective. That's why I brought up the musicians from the musical Steelbridge, because there's so many different styles coming together, right? And then everybody has a different way of doing things, and it broadens your mind and your perspective. And the music that's created is immeasurable. It's awesome. Makes me sad that if I'm not able to get back to that. And you have to remain flexible. Be open to what other people have to say and their ideas. You don't have to do it their way, but be open, because there's always something to be always something to learn in what someone has to say. My landlord came up and he said, I'm going to talk to you about something that happened to me this morning, when I was a kid. And he told me that story. And I thought, wow, that was totally what I was watching, what I watched in my dreams. And I understand why people would try and shield themselves and why they would be shamed and embarrassed and not want to talk about it. And this is why I'm awkward that way, because I have memories of this. And so, you know, everybody has something to say. And I was busy. I thought, shoot, I have to do my reading. I got to get ready. But that was important. I needed that. So always be open to what people have to say. There's a reason. Be flexible. And then as far as whatever it is that you're trying to do here, give it your best. And recognize that there's just one you. Okay? And so whatever it is, whatever obstacle, you've got an obstacle, or you think you have an obstacle, but check it out. Of course they're going to have obstacles because they have their eyes covered. They're not looking. I don't want to look, I don't want to look, I don't want to look because the last time this happened and I don't want to look. Okay, well, you know what? You're going to trip and kill yourself. Or, you know, yes, you're going to bump into things. Or, no, it's not going to go smoothly because you're not looking. You're either not looking or you're not listening to it and seeing what Spirit's showing you. Open your eyes to what's around you. Open your eyes to the truth. Open your third eye. They're both covering their third eye. So you're choosing not to hear what Spirit is telling you. Challenges may appear insurmountable, but they're not. Your path may be indirect, but it leads you to appropriate action, greater clarity, and ultimately to success. So trust the process. So like I said, why is this happening? Why did I go through that? Oh my God, you know, but everything, it's like there's divine order to the madness. I love the raw, natural, earthy look of that. Don't you? I mean, see, and that's a personal opinion, right? To me, I see beauty in the natural form. I see the beauty in the imperfection. This is granite. Look at the two different melding together with crystal. Strength and delicate at the same time, right? It's so beautiful to me. Can you see it right there? See the mica? I love that. Now, other people may say that they prefer, well, I like things polished, fancy, dressed, or whatever, you know? Yeah, that's pretty. But I appreciate the raw, organic beauty because to me it's real. So these obstacles. Let's ask, what's your next message? It's not really there. The obstacle isn't really there. I mean, it is an obstacle, but it's not insurmountable, and it's not as big as you're making it, is what the message is. And a lot of times, in all actuality, the obstacle isn't actually there. What truly is the obstacle is yourself. Because look, you are making things difficult for yourself. So in all actuality, the obstacle is you, right? So what is your question that you want to ask of Spirit? And let's see what this has to do with you speaking your truth, being your authentic, true self, and overcoming the obstacle that you have in front of you. The situation will improve. See? The situation will improve. So you're so concerned with it. You were sitting there stressing about it. You were depressed and sad about the situation, and you didn't know how to proceed. And you felt like the obstacle is just insurmountable, but that's not the truth. The situation will improve. Now, I know a lot of people take all of these messages, so we're going to make it broad. So whatever it is that you're looking at, yes, things look, just like the card said, like they're insurmountable. I don't know how to get around this. I'm afraid. I don't know how to get around this. I can't see myself proceeding in a productive way. I'm blank. I don't know what to say. It makes me sad. I'm depressed. But you don't have to be. Because the situation is going to improve. It might take some time, and yes, it's probably going to take some hard work. But it's going to be worth it. Whatever effort you put in, it's going to make it better. And right now, if you're talking about a relationship, because I know a lot of people are asking about relationships, this is not the time to give up on a relationship that feels like it's wounded or failing. There is hope in this relationship. If you and the other partner continue to work together, and you have to take into account both sides' feelings and what's the word I'm thinking of? Both perspectives. So what I'm looking at, and I know this card's really worn. I told you these cards are well loved. Again, I'm going to bring up the fact that there are 3 dolphins. And dolphins represent the importance of play. It's very important for you. A lot of times we get like this because, you know, we're overthinking, overanalyzing, right? And we feel that we get stuck. So we have to step away from it and enjoy ourselves, relax, and allow things to flow. The dolphins are the sea puppies, right? They're there to help. And this one is going up to the light. Your head's underwater, but you're breathing fine. You're able to see the light. It's just right there. Reach for it. Reach for it. I saw this little masked bandit yesterday. This little raccoon. He was in a car. Like really, someone had him in a car. And it was raining. And he had his little hands outside and his little mouth outside of the window. And he was trying to catch the raindrops. And I saw that as this person that's trying to communicate with me that's having such a difficult time. And I said just that. Reach for it. Because the raindrops are emotion, right? They're expression. And remember yesterday, I think I showed you guys maybe I didn't, but there was another little video. I show the animal videos a lot of a little raccoon trying to make friends with a cat. And I said, there you are. And the cat smacked the raccoon's hand because she didn't understand what the raccoon was doing. The raccoon was trying to make friends, but was going about it in kind of a weird way. And so she said no. And she went away. And I said, "Aw." You know, I kind of laugh at it, but then at the same time, I thought, that makes me sad because you could see he so desperately wants to be friends. He so desperately is trying to connect, but doesn't know how. So reach for it. Here it is. I'm going to show it to you guys. It's just the most adorable thing ever. I love raccoons, little masked bandits, right? Here's somebody wearing a mask. I said yesterday, so many people wear masks. He's trying to catch the raindrops and put them in his mouth. So if you think about that, and I said, reach for it, baby. You know, he's trying to catch the raindrops. So he's trying to figure out how to put the right words in his mouth. Reach for it. Spirit will help you. The obstacle isn't as big as you think it is. You are in your emotional waters, but that's okay. It's here to help you grow, and it's going to get better if you just reach for it. But you know what? You're going to have to come out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to come out of your emotional waters to reach for it. Okay, timestamp 42 minutes. I'm glad I only chose to do I guess I did 3 cards in the end, didn't I? Okay, the next one is and I don't know what kind of cone, 42 minutes we start. Okay, I don't know what kind of seashell this is, but I love it because it's got, I love the colors. It's kind of a mauvey, and then it goes to the green, seafoam green, and I don't know, I love it. It's like a little pyramid. It's like a little hat. And look at that, look how beautiful. See, this talks about growth. This is all about our path to ascension. It's all about, we learn all, look at this, it started way inside. It started way back here, and it comes out. And as we grow, that's what happens. It's amazing. I love that. Illumination, and look at the colors. See how Spirit lines everything up? So, now this one is tapping into their highest self. This is from, we had the Shapeshifter Oracle, we had the Shadows and Light, and this is the Magdalene Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. I love him. So, Illumination. So, this is another a message from Spirit that, you know, you're not expressing yourself. This one's got their eyes closed, their mouth is closed, and because of that, they're not able to move forward. Their creativity is blocked because they're not seeing with their third eye, they're not looking with their visual eyes, they're not engaging. So right now, Spirit is asking you to express yourself in some way. Now, the best way to help yourself, and that's why these festivals are so cool. I keep thinking about that. Writing, drawing, painting, gardening, whatever you create is an expression of you, inside of you. It brings out a release of your feeling of things that you can't express. Like in my dream the other night, I asked my twin a question. I said, "What is your intention?" And he pursed up his lips He didn't say anything, but I know what that meant, and I heard in my head. And, you know, sometimes you have to show something. You express yourself in that way. You know, like I painted that. That's where I feel safe. I feel comfortable. My friends are writers, and they create beautiful songs, and they express their feelings that way. And when you are able to unblock your creativity in this way, you're able to get out the feelings that are inside. So you're kind of like in a conundrum, right? I can't express myself. I've got a creative block. So if I can't express myself and I have a creative block, what are you talking about? Well, that's why you have to do something. It doesn't matter. Don't put any judgment on it, whatever it is. Just sit down with a piece of paper and a pencil and scribble. What does your hand do? Sit down, with a musical instrument and just start plucking the strings. Just start with a little pile of rocks. I have I'll show you where are they. This is what we do. Well, this is what I do. I get my rocks and I just start stacking them, right? And it's interesting because you have to balance them. And you've got your mind so intent about that you're not thinking about anything else. Where are my other ones? See, I've got little stacks of rocks. Or else, you garden, and then you got to put your pots down, and then you figure out where you're going to put your pots. You're not really thinking about it, but you just do it. It's kind of like decorating. So you're mindless. You're not thinking about it, but in the end, you're actually creating something. And so when you're doing that, your creativity becomes unblocked. And then you're now expressing yourself. So whatever you're doing, if you were writing, if you were drawing, if you were, doing music, whatever it is, just allow it to come out. Because it's healing. It allows something inside of you to be expressed when maybe you wouldn't be able to express it in another way. Like, remember I said, I have to say, I know it's kind of late. I knew you wouldn't mind, but I have to tell you I love you in a song. Every time I tried to tell you, it wouldn't come out right, so I had to tell you I loved you in a song. That person was uncomfortable or embarrassed or felt weird or didn't know how to do it, so they wrote a song. People write poems. I have poems that I write. Paint me a picture, draw me a picture, whatever it is. Maybe you're not able to do something with your words, but maybe you can express yourself in a different way. And you don't have to be the one to do it. You can actually go and find something that means what you are thinking and share that. My mom used to spend hours poring over greeting cards for the perfect message. Well, make your own. Draw a card, I love homemade cards. I talk about that all the time. You just have to allow yourself to express. And don't put any expectations upon yourself. Just allow it to come out. This is so funny because didn't I just say that? Meditation. And that's what's important right now is meditation. Because when you're in meditation, you're not thinking about all the other stuff that's blocking you, that's confusing you, right? You're not speaking. You're listening. Maybe when you're drawing, you'll overhear animals, different animals. Maybe you'll overhear a conversation. Maybe, like I'm floating around in my canoe, right? Just floating there, lying on the bottom of my canoe, looking up, and I see different things, and I hear different things, and I watch. Then I watch the interaction between the different insects and the different birds, and I get stories that way. It's amazing what you can hear when you're not talking. Or I'm alone all the time, like pretty much always. And wherever I go, if you have to wait in line or whatever, like I said, I've been trained by Spirit to just keep my eyes open and my ears open, because conversations will bring you answers. You will listen to a conversation next to you. It's not like you're eavesdropping and you're wanting to gossip. You're just listening to what Spirit wants you to hear. And you'll sometimes hear things, or on the radio, or whatever it is. You're not trying. You're just listening. Speak less, listen more, and see what comes. But meditation right now is a place where you need to be. You need to be in a place where you can be calm and relaxed and at peace, because maybe you're in chaos. Maybe you're in a very chaotic place. And you've got to be able to get yourself to a place where you can go there instead of drug yourself, instead of drink yourself, instead of sex yourself, instead of shop yourself. You know what I mean? Instead of filling that void with something like that, fill your void with peace. Get to a place. Because that's where, when you get into meditation, that's when you're going to discover the pearls of your own wisdom. You're going to hear them. And you're going to speak then with wisdom. Because you're tapping in to your highest self. Renew your spirit by quieting your mind. Simply follow the rhythm of your breath and allow your thoughts to float by. Rest in the deep silence of your own being. It's just a time for peace. Like I said, that. Look at that. That's so incredibly beautiful. And it's interesting. It's, you know, as we awaken, we appreciate things like this more and more. You know, I'm not interested in getting on that ship and going into town, into the cities and into the clubs. I want this. I appreciate all the sounds and the smells and the textures and the beauty. God, those cranes. That's the one thing I love about here. Our giant blue herons and the white cranes flying above. They're so huge. They're so amazing. I will never, ever tire of the beauty of that. The appreciation of things that you recognize when you're in silence. It's always been hard for me to do a meditation where I sit, you know, quiet, close your eyes. I can do it now, but it took me a long time. But I would do walking meditations. I would walk. And if you can get out in nature and like in a place like that, oh my God. And just walk, like when I was in the giant sequoias. I went by myself on that quest. I was always alone, right? But I was communing with the animals. And it was amazing. I was never alone when I was outside. When I got outside, I didn't feel lonely. I felt lonely when I was inside buildings by myself. But when I get outside, I never feel lonely. Because spirit's all around me. The animals are all around me. It'll help you. Okay, so whatever your question is right now, we're going to ask one more message. And then we're done. Correct neutrality on all levels. Double emphasis on listening to intuition. And how do you listen to your intuition? You get quiet. You get quiet. What are you thinking about? What has your intuition been telling you lately? What is it that you've been picking up? Even if other people say something different, and even if it looks different, what does your intuition tell you? What do your dreams tell you at this time? Because you have to trust your intuition. And the more you trust your intuition, the better you'll get. It's practice makes perfect. If you trust your intuition on something, you're not certain, but you go with it. You go with your gut. Now, you don't want to go with, like say you're motivated to do something and you're just like, oh, I don't know, I'm hitting every wall in the world. It doesn't mean because you hit challenges you're not supposed to do it. That means either you have to find a different way to do it, or maybe it's not the right time, or you're being challenged to find a creative way to solve it. But if you get a really bad feeling, you don't do it. And when you are just moved, you just know it, you know that you have to follow that. You don't second guess that. So when you trust your intuition, you go with it. And Spirit sees you trusting your intuition and connecting, we give you messages and we connect you with this, and you act on you always want to come from a place of love. What would love say? What would love do? What is in the highest good for all concerned? Well, my intuition is showing me this, and I trust this. Spirit will help you. They will rise up to meet you. And you'll get better at it. And once you start trusting in what you're getting, Spirit will bring to you more and more clearly, because they will see how it is that you're reacting. What are the things that they pay attention to? What are the things that they notice? Like Spirit knows that the animal messengers, I notice. I'm a detail person, right? I notice details. I notice everything. I should have been a detective or a lawyer. But so they'll bring me animal messengers, and I see the smallest things. Nothing really escapes my notice. So once you are open to that, Spirit will bring that to you, and then you can trust what you're picking up. Now, body vibration. Your body also will give you information. If you get a chill, what does the chill mean for you? When I get goosebumps all over my body, that is this. Listen to this. This is important for you. This is a yes. When I get a warm flush, that's a negative for me. What is it for you? Your body doesn't lie. I can't make myself get chills. I can't. That's my body talking to me. That's my higher self, and I have to trust that. So listen to what happens to you. Listen to what your body does. How does your body feel? When you get around certain people, do you find yourself getting a headache? Pay attention to that. You find your neck starts to ache or something, uncomfortable. That's your body telling you, this isn't working for me. Listen to your intuition and allow it to guide you. You are correct, and you don't need to question what you know. And as I said before, when your intuition has told you something and you're on about something, it doesn't matter what anyone tells you. You don't have to explain yourself, and you don't have to debate it or say, I've got to get proof so that I can. No, you already know what it is. Go with it, trust it. That's what Spirit's telling you. Okay, we're done at 55 minutes and 47 seconds. All right, you guys, I will see you very shortly whenever I get ready for our weekly reading. I guess I'll be here doing it, and I'll speak to you soon. I love you.